Alright. We're not going to beat the Ajayi topic to death. I'm recording this still before the trade deadline. There very well could be another Philadelphia Eagle trade, which would make this video kind of redundant. But it's Halloween. I'm going to get ready to go take my kid out and stuff. So I guess I will, apologies if another Philadelphia Eagle trade has happened. There are rumors that the Philadelphia Eagles are still active. There's outrageous claims that we might be in for T.Y. Hilton. You'd have to figure we're probably not in the sweepstakes for Cordy Glenn. But, I mean, Central Henderson's another guy that serviceable tackle, add some competition so that we don't have just to, kind of accept Big V. So Big V's playing bad. Right now, I think Siumalo is the top tackle depth, and that's not ideal in any scenario. But, I mean, outside of the other names, then again, Ajayi was not a name that we thought would be available on the trade block unless you're, really, really searching. You're trying to say, well, there's a disconnect between Ajayi and Adam Gase, and, he could potentially be available. But, yeah, we're just going to talk about the Ajayi trade now. Obviously, this morning, when I when I woke up, I was up for maybe 2 minutes before I recorded the video. It was just initial reaction, initial hype, initial excitement. And now it's time to, we're calm, cool, and collected. And it's time to offer an honest, realistic approach. I made a tweet. There's two Philadelphia Eagle fans most of the time when it comes to exciting news like this. There's the one side that takes it way over the top. It's like, oh, we got Ajayi. He's the one. He's going to be the guy now that helps us become a Super Bowl team. He's going to be perfect. He's 24. We gave him a 4th rounder for a 24-year-old. He's on a rookie deal, so he's still on, under $1 million against the cap next season. It gives us flexibility in the draft. We don't have to worry about spending our 1st-round pick on said running back. We were never going to be in play for Saquon Barkley. But, now Bryce Love, Darius Geis, Royce Freeman, those guys there, they're not a necessity. And a 4th-round pick, you would feel like if Philly had to go, let's say, tackle in the 1st round, and that means they'd have to use one of our 3 4th-round picks that we originally had to go after a running back. The last time we drafted a running back in the 4th round, Donnell Pumphrey, did not work out. And I was not a fan of that pick whatsoever. I still think, Marlon Mack would have been the ideal option. If we had Marlon Mack on the roster, maybe this trade does not come to fruition. But there's that side of the Eagle fan. The Eagle fan, like I was this morning, absolutely hyped that this happened. And then you always have the negative Nancy's. You have the people that, they're always like, now this Ajayi trade's going to upset the locker room. LeGarrette Blount's not going to get his amount of carries. There's going to be friction there. What if Ajayi doesn't get the same amount of carries that he wants? And it comes another coaching Ajayi battle, kind of like you had with Adam Gase. And then you got, Ajayi was drafted with a bone-on-bone knee injury. So a lot of people, like the reason why Ajayi went in the 5th round, and he was like a 2nd, 3rd round talent, was because he has a bone-on-bone knee injury. I don't know the actual lingo for it, but essentially people were worried about his longevity in the NFL. A lot of people said that he wouldn't play past his rookie contract, and that is definitely a worry for the Philadelphia Eagles. The fact that he might be a Band-Aid. Even though he's 24, he might very well be a Band-Aid depending on the injury. And then, they have that same side of the other fan. They're like, why? Why did they trade him? Is there more than meets the eye? Is there is his knee showing signs of wear and tear in the practice field that we don't know about? Is it more than just a beef with Adam Gase? So you have the negative fans and you have the Zuberish fans. I'm trying to be dead down the middle. You need to understand both sides. Don't be oblivious to them, analyze them, and try to come out with what's the most likely scenario. Does this Ajayi trade mean that the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl favorites? No. Does this Ajayi trade help in any way, shape, or form with the offensive line? No. Is Ajayi a good run blocker? So that was kind of the talk with Frank Gore, right? If we couldn't land an offensive tackle, at least we could bring in Frank Gore, who's a good pass protection. Is Ajayi good in pass protection? Not particularly. I think he's ranked 40 out of 46. He is better than LeGarrette Blount. He is better than Smallwood and Corey Clement, so there's a slight upgrade there. But it's still not really helping our quarterback stay upright. Okay. And then for the negative side, he does have that knee injury. He has been known to have flare-ups with his coach. He's a little bit of a firecracker, if you will. Well, then when I see those two things, what you can kind of make out of that is where I'm at. My moment of zen. Is that John? Isn't that like something from the Daily Show? Where I see Ajayi, is he going to help Carson Wentz by his pass protection? Slight upgrade. But how he's going to help Carson Wentz is, as much as I've liked LeGarrette Blount, I said in this morning's video, that run against San Diego, or I'm calling him San Diego. The run against the Chargers, You still can see the shades of the Beastquake runs, just unstoppable highlight reel runs from LeGarrette Blount. You know, but he hasn't gone over 100 yards yet this year. LeGarrette Blount has not had... LeGarrette Blount, if you have an RB1, if you have a legit running back one, which Philadelphia clearly hasn't had, that's why we're running a running back by committee at this point. And even though Clement, Smallwood, and Blount as a whole, as a three-man unit, has been good, they've been good enough. They've been able to establish the run game in games that they've needed to do that. We still don't have a running back one. So Ajayi is that running back one. Ajayi is the kind of running back that can get those 100-yard games that you expect your running back to get. But just wait. Ajayi is the kind of running back that, as we could see from last year, the 2016 season, multiple times, Ajayi is the guy that can get you 200-yard rush games from your running back. And that is something that, as much as I like LeGarrette Blount, as much as I was, outside of the pass pro issues, comfortable with our running backs, like our stable of running backs there, none of those guys struck me as a running back one in the future. Corey Clement had some upside. Like I said, I was really kind of intrigued about what if maybe, like, say week 17 we have playoffs locked up. Why don't we let Corey Clement be our starting running back, see what we have there? But I'm already off the Smallwood train. After he got hurt last year and he had 2 starts where he got all the majority of snaps, still couldn't get over 100 yards, I don't think. Smallwood was never going to be a running back one. I personally think he's a serviceable guy. He's a backup. He won't be getting extended. LeGarrette Blount was a one-year Band-Aid type player, and I still think with Ajayi he'll be able to mix in for you've heard of smash and dash. This has got to be smash and smash of a running back tandem. So you add that. That's how I view that. I view Ajayi as actually a running back one. He's an upgrade, not a huge upgrade. I think if we got Cordy Glenn, that upgrade from Cordy Glenn to Big V would be much bigger, but it's still a meaningful upgrade. And how it's going to help Carson Wentz is kind of what I'm going into. We now have that 100-yard rusher, that guy that can go between the tackles and can kind of take some of the pressure off Carson Wentz. LeGarrette Blount not necessarily could be that guy. Neither, the running back by committee not necessarily could be that where teams are reluctant to blitz Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is like the most blitz quarterback in the NFL. Teams might not have been super reluctant because they understand that those guys can be productive running backs, but they're not like a game plan. LeGarrette Blount, you just gotta man up and tackle him. The way LeGarrette Blount has been successful is players are just like, I'm gonna try to one-arm tackle LeGarrette Blount. That's not gonna work. But when you have Ajayi, that's a guy that you got a game plan against. And then when I look at the negative sides, I'm like, all right, well, we gave, he has that knee injury. Yeah, he has the flare-ups. What did we give? We gave up a 4th-round pick. Now, if we gave up, we don't even have a 2nd or 3rd. But really, if you told, everyone's just surprised that a 4th-round pick was what was able for us to get Ajayi. If you just said Ajayi's up on the trade block, what do you think would get him? I would say 2nd round. Like, if you asked me last night, Ajayi's not for the Eagles, because I wouldn't believe that Eagles would be in play. But if you said Ajayi is on the trade block, what do you think, as an impartial fan, would it cost to get a 1,000-yard running back that's 24, still on his rookie deal from a team? I'd say 2nd-round pick. 2nd-round pick, 3rd-round pick, a 3rd and something, like a 3rd and a 5th, not a 4th round. So when I see all the negatives of Ajayi, you need to acknowledge that they're there. You need to acknowledge that this very well might not work out. Sometimes things are too good to be true, and there's a reason why, I'm not going to come out and outright say that this is like a Sean McCoy trading moment or like DeMarco Murray going to the Tennessee Titans. But the thing you need to understand about this trade is that we only gave up a 4th-round pick. We have 3 4th-round picks. There's no one in the draft, unless somehow, some way, we're going to get the next Kareem Hunt. There is no way we're going to get a running back as good as Ajayi in next year's draft. And running back is a big need. Right after tackle, you would have to consider running back and outside linebacker the biggest needs for this Philadelphia Eagles team. Assets that we gave up, it doesn't make me worried at all about the negatives that may come with Ajayi, but you need to understand that there still are potential for negatives to be there. And another reason from drawing similarities from us, our fan base, is we might have just fleeced him. There is a legit chance we just fleeced him. There's nothing wrong with Ajayi. The change in scenery is exactly what he needs because their quarterback is having a Chip Kelly meltdown. You need to think to yourself, Adam Gase was brought in as an offensive mastermind. Adam Gase is the kind of guy that has his own scheme that's worked. It's worked with all these bum-ass QBs, and he's been able to find success. So now he went down to Miami as a head coach, as an offensive mastermind, and it's not working out. Adam Gase, kind of guy, Chip Kelly mentality, walks in the room, thinks he's the smartest guy there, thinks he's revolutionizing the game. And when things don't go these masterminds' way. I don't know if they have a Napoleon complex or what. They just think that they need to have a rage fit like a 12-year-old or like me playing Madden as of late. And they just need to, you know, start chopping heads. We saw it in Philadelphia with LaShawn McCoy. We saw it with Deshaun Jackson. We saw it with Evan Mathis. We saw it with Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly thought that his scheme would trump all. His scheme trumped talent. He did not need Deshaun Jackson because we had Jordan Matthews. Or we didn't need to go out. We didn't need LaShawn McCoy because we could get Ryan Matthews. We had his Oregon Ducks that could run the scheme. We had a Kenyon Barner type running back. You know, we didn't need Deshaun Jackson because we had Riley Cooper. You don't need to worry about that. We didn't need Evan Mathis, all-pro guard, because we had Andrew Gardner. We had Matt Tobin. Guys like that, because he thinks that he's so much smarter than everyone else. He can make these trades, and I think that is what's happening down there in Miami. That's why Jarvis Landry's rumored to be on the trade block. That's why Ajayi was on the trade block, because those are the faces of this offense. Adam Gase is thinking that these guys aren't good enough because, come on, my scheme should work. My offense should be working. And if these superstars aren't working in my scheme, it's them. It's not my scheme. It's nothing that I'm doing. It's not the bum-ass offensive line. It's not the terrible quarterback play. It's these players. He's putting his players under the bus for his team's failures. And that's what I'm seeing. You've seen it with the flare-ups at their press conference. You've seen it by calling out these said players. It's not the players. I'm telling you right now, Dolphins fans, it's not the players. It's the offensive line, and it's your coach's Chip Kelly complex. So on Twitter, someone said, are you going to do Adam Gase rebuilds this year? I might have to. If they end up shipping Jarvis Landry, there's still a couple more hours for the deadline. If they end up shipping Jarvis Landry for like a 5th-round pick, something needs to be said, because they're on suicide watch. I think the only reason why Miami Dolphin fans can sleep tonight is like, all right, well, clearly we're going to suck this year, and maybe we can get Saquon Barkley. And I would say Saquon Barkley is an upgrade over Ajayi. But, yeah, that's just my coming back, my second take analysis here on the Ajayi trade. Look at it, every side of this. I don't know if he's going to play this week against Denver. That's a tough debut. Denver, we saw what Denver did last night in primetime against Kareem Hunt, who's probably the best running back right now. I think our offensive line, even without Jason Peters, is probably better than the Chiefs because the Chiefs are banged up as well. But it might not be the best debut performance for Ajayi. But again, we'll talk about that video for the Broncos hype. So, yeah, that is my kind of explained opinion on this whole matter. Let me know what you guys think, if your opinions has changed at all from the initial reaction from the Ajayi trade. First time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. Smash the like button if you're hyped for Ajayi. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.